Hello all. Right, for the next guest on the hill, there's someone I asked, I think it was during the Brecon Builth game. Now, how do I introduce him? Well, from what I know, he was first team coach for 10 years, played for Builth first at 9. He's from Lanny. He's a very good friend of mine, but I'd like to introduce today. Nick, say hello.
Hello, you right, John?
Yes, I'm very well, Nick. Thanks for joining me today, buddy.
Oh,
was that introduction all right? Did I miss anything out?
No, very good. Very
good. You're Lanny boy, yes.
Lanny boy, yeah. You from the accent, can't you?
Yeah, and I did list something. I directed rugby for 2 years as well.
I was.
Yeah. But the main reason why I wanted you, Nick, when I was talking to you down at the Brecon game, you've just completed and trained and still in training the IRONMAN.
Yeah.
Where was that, Nick? Where did that?
I did a 70.3 Ironman event in Bolton. So it's half an hour an Ironman to start.
I remember you talking about that just as you were finishing as director of rugby.
Yeah.
You said you're going to focus on this and get into the training, and I had been following you on Strava and stuff and on Facebook.
Yeah.
What kicked you to get into that, Nick? What did you? I know you've always played rugby all your life.
Yeah.
Kept yourself quite fit, but did suddenly think, I want to do this as?
Well, I think to be honest, yeah, like I said, I was at a rugby background from when I was 14.
Yeah.
Started training with Lanny first team at 14.
Yeah.
And so it developed from there.
Yeah.
It was like I finished coaching the first team here in 2017.
Yeah.
About a year out then, so didn't do much then for about a year. I come back into the director of rugby role, which was great pleasure.
Yeah.
And to be honest, great honour.
Yeah.
But I just found there was still something in the stomach, a bit of fire in the stomach,
This is the conversation.
which I had to
talking about it.
I've always thought I was a bit of a hands-on coach.
Yeah.
And that's how I used to like coaching, being there on the Tuesdays and Thursdays as well as the Saturdays. And I just felt there was still something to give. So, I was being honest with the club, and I resigned from the position, and I signed up for an Ironman, which is totally out of my comfort zone. I think the last time I ever swam until then was the first year of high school.
Were you doing it with doggy paddle?
Yeah, not even that, I think.
With armbands. But I suppose we should have, what it exactly is Ironman. There'll be people watching this, they could hopefully know what it is. What is it? What are the disciplines?
Well, it's swimming, cycling, and running.
Yeah.
So usually people start off with a sprint, which is quite shorter distance than up to Olympic.
Yeah.
But I threw myself in at half distance, which is a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and half a marathon to finish, 13.1. So yeah, set the standard high.
So the swimming was the Achilles heel, as they say, was it? Was it a bit of the...
Oh, most definitely. And obviously during COVID, I was, you couldn't do much swimming in a sports centre, so the practice came in quite late. So I think I did a total of 30 swims before the event.
Yeah.
And it was basically all in the swimming pool, not in the open water. So, it was a...
Well, I remember having a telephone conversation with you just after it.
Yeah.
And you said you were all set for the swimming, and then you had a bit of a panic moment. What did you start with?
I had a bit of a wobble, I must admit. Just before the event, you're waiting there and with the other athletes. I think it was 1,300. Yeah. And fine, away it goes. AC/DC comes on, Thunderstruck. You're all pumped up, you're ready to go, aren't you? And went into the water. Fine. Started swimming about 200 meters, and all of a sudden I had a slap on the back of the head. And my goggles come off.
Was it a duck or something? No.
It could have been a duck, yeah, it could have been. Could have been an old pike or something like that. I don't know quite what it was. But
athlete.
And then also, all of a sudden I just panicked. And I looked up and I could just see all the course marked out in the boys, and I thought to myself, can I actually do this? And I must admit, you heard people hitting the wall at the end of an event. I hit the wall on the
what got you through, Nick? How did you pull yourself out of that one?
To be honest, I've been training for so long, nearly 2 years to be honest.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of support, a lot of messages in the morning.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people down there watching me as well, and I just said to myself, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it no matter what. And you know, there was a cut-off time, so I had to make sure I made the swim in a certain time. So that was getting me, you know, a little bit panicky. But yeah, I got through it in the end. You know, sort of relaxed, and I got myself through it. But I was a little bit disappointed in myself because that's the way I am.
Well, yeah.
And
I know your character. I can see why you. But the most important thing, you had the inner strength.
Yeah.
To get yourself through that.
Yeah, I had to dig deep on that one, I must admit. You know, that there was a time it was 50-50. Do I put my hand in the air and do I say, look, get me out of here? I thought, you know, Bolton's a long way to go, and just for 200 metre swim.
I remember you said you had family that had come and have a watch of you, and
yeah, my 3 boys come up. Obviously, my wife Jem.
Yeah.
And my mum and my stepdad come up as well.
Yeah.
And I had some friends from Huddersfield who also do triathlon come to support as well. So I couldn't let them down either. So yeah, we got through it in the end, Jung.
Yeah. Well, so Nick, that all completed and in the bag, as I say.
Yeah. What's
the next big challenge event you've got coming up?
Well, to be honest, Jung, after I'd finished the event, I didn't think I was ever going to do one again. But once everything calms down a little bit.
What have you got in mind, knowing you? There's a plan to...
There is, and I got 2 events next year. I got another 70.3 in Stafford in June, and then I've signed up for Tenby, which is the full Ironman in September, which is the holy grail, really. So so I got a big year of training, which will start now in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And look what happens.
So let's have a little. I know you're going to do well with them, Nick. Again, right? Let's have a little chat. How much do you miss the rugby?
Yeah, to be honest, I do miss the rugby.
Yeah.
I think the thing I miss the most really is the social part with the boys and training.
Yeah, I get that.
I used to love the training on the Tuesday, Thursday, you know, and the Saturdays. Everything about it, but everything takes its toll, John. You know.
Yeah.
Like I did it for such a while. It becomes mentally tiring as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a lot of weight on your shoulders, especially, you know, you see the good times. You know, we were quite successful in
Well, as I touched on that, I remember the season, and we spoke about it before we started the interview, when the Bulls won promotion.
Yeah, I won the league, yeah.
What a night and what a season, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And what memories have you got of that night there? That season?
Well, it was a wonderful
Did you just think at the start of that season that the Bulls, yes, we're going to do it this time? Was just something that changed in your mindset?
Well, to be honest, the first game of the season, we were down in my stag.
Yeah.
We actually lost that game. So there was a few boys out in the wedding that day, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we seemed to turn it round. I was quite lucky, really, to have good coaching, management team around myself.
Yeah.
A good captain, a strong captain.
Who was the captain then?
Ben
Ben
Duggan.
Duggan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I was quite lucky in that sense. But the team we had as well, you know, was full of confidence, and they sort of bought into how we wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
But more than everything as well, we enjoyed our defensive systems.
Yeah.
You know, we're enthusiastic to tackle.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, if you've got a team that's enthusiastic to defend no matter what, that's going to win you. That's going to win your leagues. You know, not just games, that will win your leagues.
Yeah, and I just remember that last game on the Grow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The Grow was packed again, a bit like the Brecon game we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It was a Wednesday night.
In Builth, as we talked about before we started here today.
Yeah.
Builth people love the Bulls team. They love our sport.
They do.
They love our football. I've talked about that on the hill before as well with 2 other guests. But rugby, they're passionate about the badge, aren't they?
Very, very passionate. And you know, they got a lot of expectation as well on the team.
Yeah.
And the coaches and the management, and deservedly so. You know, because they've been so successful down the years. You know, they've built such a strong club and such a strong presence, really, in South Wales.
Our junior section.
Yeah.
We regularly punch above our weight.
We do. We compete really well.
Yeah.
At the moment, you know, the current youth team, I think they're undefeated.
Yes.
And they're taking some serious scalps.
Our first team have gone toe to toe with Division 1 teams. Had some good results.
They have.
Things probably might not have gone right for them, but that's the way it would happen in a season anyway.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's all looking good again. You know, everything comes round. You know, in waves.
Yeah.
You know, we were lucky enough 9 years ago. You know, we had our chance and we took it.
Yeah.
You know, the current team at the moment, they've been quite unlucky that, you know, they've played some good rugby.
Yeah.
They haven't quite got where they wanted to get.
Yeah.
COVID obviously come around now, but I know there's no promotion next year, but they've got a great
Well, they've
chance.
adjusted well to the new setup.
Yeah.
The way that WIU wanted to get us probably not travelling as far, so we were up against those Division 1 teams.
Yeah.
They've adjusted to that. They got used to that new type of competition. Now they go, as you say, they'll go back into the Division 2 West Central.
Yes.
And there's no promotion or relegation.
No.
But I think with the crop of young players they've got, Nick, we can only see good times ahead, I think.
I think so. I think I've watched them a few times this season, and they're a very confident bunch.
Yeah.
And that's a fantastic thing. If you've got that ingredient within that squad, you know, you're going to do something. You know, there's a few little things they need to sort out, you know, but I'm sure, you know, the coaches and the management will sort that out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will.
You know, it is their time now. It is their time.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. One thing I've been doing with the walk, Nick, is highlighting well-being and mental health.
Yes.
We've touched on a bit about your challenges with the Ironman. How much does that play a part in your life for well-being for you personally? Does it? People talk about exercise and mental health and well-being going hand in hand. It is really a gimmer, isn't it? It does
definitely
work.
I find it a good feel factor.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it becomes part of, once you do more and more of something and you want to achieve a goal in something, it becomes part of your life.
Yeah.
And it actually makes you happier.
Yeah.
Where I think there's a good example. The season I'd finished coaching in 2017, and my wife will vouch for it. I just became miserable at home.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't used to doing something week in, week out, you know. I just happened to be doing nothing, just watching TV, looking at my phone, checking results, you know. And,
yeah.
I must admit that was a bit of a dark sort of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and I come out of it in the end. You know, I got back into the director of rugby, which gave me a bit more life again.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I'm doing it now, and I'm happy as I've ever been, to be honest. You know?
Yeah, I could say the same with this.
Yeah.
You know, it's a daily thing I do, and you're able to process your thoughts and make what probably sounds not rational, or a wrong thought or whatever, because you're exercising. Everything's it's clearer.
It seems a lot clearer.
Yeah.
You know, this mental health. It's a difficult one because it's an animal really that we've only just scratched the top of it, of the surface, you know. And to be honest, us, you know, talking like this now is only going to promote it really, and it's going to send hopefully a message out.
Yeah, #365.
Yeah.
I suggest just ask.
Yeah.
And I know, as you've just introduced you at the back, we're good friends. We're always phoning up, just checking in on each other.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to do that. You've got to make time to talk to people and ask the question, are you all right?
Yeah.
Because there's some days when they're not. And maybe that phone call or that chat with them, you think, oh, that's a bit awkward coming back. But they appreciate it, Nick.
Of course they do.
They do, don't they? Don't they?
Yeah, I think so. You know, that little phone call, as you said there, or you know, just popping around to see someone.
Just going for a cup of tea or whatever.
And the power of social media at the moment, you can easily contact anyone in the world, you know, and nobody's really alone, are they?
No.
You know, they're only a click away, as they say these days, don't they?
Yeah.
But more and more it's promoted. You know, it's only gonna get better for everyone in the world. Really.
Yeah. Well, Nick, my old mate, as I do this every time, there it is, Builth Wells. You've played many times on there rugby.
Yeah.
You were actually that you remember doing a bit of training up here with Pip Morgan, Eddie running up and down to the top. Because as we come to the top of here is the trig.
Yeah, been up here. I think we went running.
Yeah.
One Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then the old horses were following us behind.
Were they? Just in case, picking you off at the end.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, my friend, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
It's been a great pleasure.
Will you come back and talk to me on there again?
Of course.
With something?
Of course I will.
Yeah. Good luck in your next Ironman.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
talk soon.
Cheers,
Thank you.